Hello everyone! I am your host, Remy McNeil of Celtic Phoenix Productions, and welcome to Let's Read RWBY Before the Dawn, the newest book by E.C. Myers in the RWBY franchise, and I'm very excited to share my first experience with all of you. Now, if you'll recall, I did a stream last year covering the prior book, After the Fall, which was of admittedly middling quality. However, it was of much higher quality than the most of RWBY's repertoire. So, I'm eager to see if they've improved the formula, or as some people have seemed to have reacted to it, degraded in their quality. I've also heard a few spoilers, one or two, about certain retcons, which I will address once we've reached it. But for now, I believe we're going to let people trickle in a little bit longer and just kind of relax a bit, enjoy ourselves, and most likely stop doing that damned accent because I can't keep that up. How's everyone doing today? So, let's see. Haven't seen that team in a while. No one has. Oh, you guys couldn't hear me? Could you guys not hear me? Oh, okay. I'm gonna pop up this chat. Make it way easier on me to keep track of things. No. There we go. Alright, remember, no spoilers in chat, folks. No spoilers. Floof, you're in there, alright? If you see a spoiler or you see someone trying to spoil me, bop them. Give them a bop. Delete that. Norak Mr. McNeil St. Buna? What? You need to post the correct link in the Tundra. You only posted a Twitter homepage. Ah, drat. I did not realize that. Thank you, Floof. You are a lifesaver. Apollo Fair kills everyone. Yes. That's the end of all of RWBY, though. I mean, like, that's not just this one. Oh yeah, I do to see you again, Christopher. I think I remember you from when you were reading After the Fall. Now I can't remember anything you said. I just remember seeing your name. Give Floof a raise. I will give him a head pat. He deserves all the head pats. Oh crap, Salem's in the chat. That's wonderful. We're going to be right boned, aren't we? Well, I'm glad you love my videos, Salem, but you're a terrifying Lovecraftian hellbeast. Born from a scorned woman. Like, I don't know how to feel about that. No, thank you for your support, guys. It's lovely. No, the reason I'm delaying a little bit is I have a friend that wants to join in, or at least she was interested in joining in. So I'm waiting on her, hopefully, to get in touch with me. I'll have to put on my headphones, which will ruin my wonderfully coiffed appearance here. As you will see, I've actually gotten an actual smoking jacket now. Very proud of this. My sister got it for me for Christmas, and I have been waiting for months for a reason to crack this thing out. And I was considering reading the Artemis Fowl books out on a live stream, but I just never got around to it because I was so busy. You know, fixing RWBY and all that. How many people do we have in here already? This is top chat. I'm gonna go to live chat. What are my numbers at? I want to know how many people I'm potentially scaring. 42! 42 concurrent viewers. Nice. Why do they call it Before the Dawn? Because it sounds nice. That's why. It's because it sounds nice as a name. 69, 34, 5,025 billion. If only I could get like 25 billion, that'd be amazing. We can read The Count of Monte Cristo with his jacket. You know, that might be tempting. I do like The Count of Monte Cristo. That is actually one of my favorite classics. After the Hickman, After the Fall, Before the Dawn, During the Dusk. Is that the next one? Is the next one During the Dusk? Hey Ray, how long do you plan on going? Okay, well, that's actually something I should address. I plan to have 2 streams today. This one I plan to go about an hour and a half. We'll see how long I get through the chapters. Probably about 40 pages by my measure. Maybe a little less. We'll see. And then the next stream will probably be around 8 p.m. to 9ish Eastern Standard Time, where my friend will definitely be joining me then. And then we will continue on for about, hopefully, 2 hours from that stream. So we'll see how that plays out. But I'm not going too long right now. This is just kind of, again, dipping our toes in the water. And then hopefully tonight we'll be able to continue it properly. I hope this will be the best way to read it. I'm really excited to get into this. I'm worried about all the voices I'm gonna have to give. Like, for example, Sage. Does anyone know what Sage sounds like? We actually know what Sun, Neptune, and Scarlet sound like, but Sage? No. Hell, I didn't even know what Fox sounded like, but like I just kind of made one up for him. I don't like that kind of effort. I don't want to put that kind of effort into the freaking show. Why would I want to do that? I hope it's better than the regular show. Do you think Maria and Pietro will die in the first chapter? I don't think they're going to show up in this book. The dawn of what exactly? Sun's awakening? I don't know. Before the sun wakes, stab him, and everyone dies at the end. Damn, I'll be asleep by then. Yeah, unfortunately. You can always catch the VOD. That's fine. You can always do the recording. Has a deep-ass voice. Yeah, I mean, I figured as much, but, like, I don't know, maybe I'll give him a high voice for comedic purposes. He has 0 lines aside from 2 grunts. Yeah, I know, that's, like, why would they... Wait, who's Sage? He's that guy in the back. If I can pull up my... He's this guy. This is Sage. This guy back here. Train dude, Look, alright, this is not the time where I want to take risks on racial profiling. Alright? I don't think that's a smart move, visually. I was debating, like, would he sound like this? No, I don't know. I don't want to take that risk. I want to give him a more unique voice than just going, oh, he's the gruff, big, black dude. Like, no. It's a terrible idea. Sage advice. Neptune, what are you doing? Neptune runs away. By the way, I met you through the Artemis Fowl review, and I love that. But can I say I'll watch this? The stream is a YouTube vid anyway. See ya. All right, Maroon. Have a good day. I hope you enjoy the rest of the stream when you watch it. He is literally a background character. Yes. Bryce Pappenbrook. I'm not familiar with that name. I mean, he probably sound a lot calmer than Barrett. Handedly, he seems like a very calm and composed person. Kirito for the win? Hey guys! Which Kirito? I'm thinking like a bridge Kirito, where it's like, hey! Everything's like awesome! No, it's not. These girls are crazy! I can't really do a bridge Kirito. I don't know what Sage was based on. How many chapters do you think Volume 8 will have? I'm going for 18 chapters. I think they're sticking around the 14-13 formula. I think they're sticking with that. Also, I don't type very well. I'm sorry, grammar and stuff. Well, yeah, it's fine. Not everyone's practiced quite like I have. Oh. All right, 1 minute. Unfortunately, my suave displacement will have to be displaced because of the thing. Molly, you there?
Hey.
Ah! Oh, yeah, you're loud. Can you speak for me a little bit?
I'm speaking.
All right. How does my friend sound?
Please, I'm using a $20 snowball microphone that my sister got in 2010. This is all I have.
No, it sounds clean. I'm just asking how loud you are. You should pull up the book. Make sure you have it uploaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my hair is fantastic and I love it. Thank you so much. I take great pride in my hair. She's cool. Okay, good, wonderful. All right, people, let's begin this. I am super excited to finally get into this.
Something about the cover art throws me off, and I think it's Sun's face.
It might be like Velvet had the same issue in the last book. Now I'll say this: I have the physical copy in front of me, and it has a very nice holographic sheen to it. I don't know if you can. I guess you can kind of tell on the characters on it, which I think it's a very nice touch. It looks very, very clean. It gives it a nice. I want to say professional feel. It is technically a professional novel, but like with RWBY, you never know. Also, RWBY's on the back of the cover. I don't know why she's there. She, like last time, I don't know if they're probably going to fill in more backstory for them. We'll see. All right, so let's read the back of the book, shall we?
Hold on, somebody has a good point. There are no new outfits, and that is troublesome.
Yeah, they've been wearing the same clothes for the last year and a half.
Hey, I wore the same clothes for the first 3 years of college, so that's okay.
I mean, that's fair. I've only recently gotten new pants, so I mean, I am an anime character. I have a set uniform for myself. Like I actually, yeah, it's cargo pants and a black vest under a black shirt. I never go outside without that. It's like if I get isekai'd, I know exactly what I'm going to look like on the poster for it. That's the plan. No, Train Dude, you're fine. I was just making a joke that like it's like the most stereotypical thing to go for. And should I keep this light on or off? On. I need to. If I'm gonna read from this, I'm gonna read from this too. I guess I'm still working out the kinks because I have the actual book to scroll here, so everyone can read along with us. But I have the physical copy, and I don't want to go to waste on that. All right, here we go. A storm is coming. After their strange mission in the desert, Coco, Fox, Velvet, and Yatsuhashi are back at Shade Academy, doing some extracurricular work to track down the Crown, a mysterious force that's snatching up people with powerful semblances. The job should be easier with Team Sun by their side. I'm so used to my own fixing that I slipped that up. But the Crown continues to evade them. Out of the options and worried that a bigger plot is going in motion, Coffee and Sun... You know what? I'm sticking with Season. Sun is a stupid name for a team.
No, you just have to pronounce it Sun.
I'm just pronouncing it Sn. And Team Sn notify Theodore, the headmaster of Shade Academy. But Theodore has problems of his own. Troubled by the disasters at Beacon and Haven Academies, and struggling to support the flood of refugee students, Theodore declares a new initiation, including the formation of new teams to better unite the student body. Amid the mounting tensions at the school, Coffee and Sn must contend with an unfamiliar teammates and uneasy rivalries, all while the Crown plots their next move. Don't miss this exclusive original story, straight from the award-winning author E.C. Myers and RWBY's head writers, Carrie Shawcross and Miles Luna.
Is there any lower standard than being an award-winning writer or in this type of... Who isn't an award-winning writer that's in the industry?
me an award.
No shade to you. I was talking about people that are like in the industry.
Yeah, I think I actually might be more prestigious if I don't have an award.
Yeah.
All right. So, that sounds exciting. So let's decompress a little bit on the back of the book here, because that's a little bit interesting. We're seeing an actual reaction to the tragedies at Beacon and Haven. I'm sorry, Haven was a disaster. Did you watch the same volume I did? The only thing that happened is that the headmaster got murked. Like, what happened in Volume 5 that was so catastrophic? The building's still standing. Literally, just a wall got broken down. That's it.
Did anyone get hurt? Like,
no.
For realsies? Like Weiss got hurt, but she, healed instantly.
Yeah.
So that doesn't count.
No one went down. Everyone survived. Like, literally everything went right that could possibly go right because everyone was stupid. So it's like, I don't know. Okay. So here we go. Before the Dawn, Prologue. So,
that wall was a sacred wall. It was a wailing wall of Haven. I don't know. What are these cities called again? Is it a continent? Does
no.
Haven exist? Is Volume 5 real? What, are we sure it wasn't a group hallucination?
I mean, with Emerald involved, maybe. Okay, so here we go. Sure. Prologue. The plan is for Molly to read the female parts, though maybe we'll swap out on chapters so like I can rest my voice on the description. I don't know how much you're willing to do, reading wise.
I mean, I won't mind. I like reading things. I have a slightly tolerable voice, and I think I could be okay with this. I
think you have a wonderful voice.
Thank you.
Here we
go.
Not
as nice as yours, though.
Oh, thank you. That's a high compliment, I consider. All right, here we go. Prologue. Sun Wukong had been back in Vacuo for a month already, but it was only now that he felt like he was truly home. It was nighttime in the city, and Sun was on a dark street facing off against 3 goons who were up to no good, making trouble in his neighborhood. At least he'd assumed they were up to no good when he spotted them stalking a woman out of some new nightclub downtown.
Wait, did they miss a comma?
At least, with the at least?
Least comma, he'd assumed.
I mean, that's okay. That's a point of contention with me, is like, commas, I feel, there might be very mechanical rules for them, but I feel much more fluid with them. Where, like, if you're trying to, like, be a faster thought, like, at least he assumed, as opposed to, at least he assumed. Like,
okay.
Like it's different emphasis. And, like, I always find it, like, when people are like, oh, you missed a comma here, I'm like, no, that was intentional. I actually struggled over that in my head to, like, emphasize the right thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Sun had trailed after them silently, but they somehow noticed him anyway and turned to confront him. Why Adobe Acrobat? Why do you put a cursor there? I'm going to put it at the top there. They were a strange trio. The woman on the left had spiky pink hair and a loose black robe over a white tunic. The broad guy in the middle wore a green muscle shirt, cargo shorts, and sandals. The lanky guy on the right was wearing Crocs. Can you believe it? Crocs. No. Had light brown jumpsuit and combat boots, with a brown patterned bandana covering his hair and ears.
Why does broad guy just like me in the summer?
The only thing they had in common were matching silver armbands around their right biceps and masks on their faces. I mean, hey, they're practicing proper social distancing, so I mean, that's not strange.
I have my mask on right now. No, I don't. I'm kidding. But...
At least they weren't creepy grim face masks that some members of the White Fang wore. You mean, like, oh, I guess more members of the White Fang wore those masks. It's just like, it never felt like they were really grim masks. They were just like normal masks. Adam was the only one that seemed to have a grim type mask. At least they weren't the creepy grim face masks some members of the White Fang wore. These were just average gas masks with large eyepieces and big round filters in the front resembling pig snouts.
What?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. They're just describing gas masks.
Yeah. You didn't see people wearing masks in Vacuo every day, or any day, really. Some bet they got pretty sweaty inside. How does sweat...
Aren't you out past your bedtime, kid?
said
That's
Pink.
how I think she talks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a
Nothing
night owl,
coincidental.
said Sun, yawning. A lot of people in Vacuo were simply because the desert cooled down in the evening, and that was when walking and breathing didn't make you want to die. Until it got too cold, like it was now, and you started to question whether it was a good idea to go around with your shirt open all the time. Okay, this is one thing I really like how E.C. Myers manages to kind of thread some personality into the description. It's not quite as much as I typically like, but I definitely understand. Like, it really fleshes out the characters more, and I like how that. I don't know. I enjoy that. But this was late, even for Sun. It was almost dawn, in fact. Roll credits.
Wow, you think we're before? It's before the dawn.
And he had to get back to school. He didn't want to make a bad impression on his first week at Shade, or rather, he didn't want to make a bad first impression even worse. Well, this shouldn't take long, he thought. Once they stopped their verbal sparring and started the real fight, things would go pretty smoothly. These clowns didn't even have weapons.
Clowns.
I'm going to stop here for a moment and just kind of reflect on the nature of action shows and such. You should never be thinking, oh, once the real fight starts in real life. Ever. I know we have a lot of movies and games that play up, oh yeah, we already know the fight's coming, whatever. No, don't ever think like that. Always think, how do I de-escalate the situation as fast as possible, or otherwise extricate myself from it? That's a rule from self-defense classes, people. Always try to get out of a bad situation before it starts. Night Owl looks more like a monkey to me. Hey, that's racist, man, said Green. Why were you following us? That was from Brown. It was hard to tell because of the jumpsuit and bandana, but some thought Brown might be a faunus. He carried himself like he was taking in more of his environment and knew how to move within it. That was a trait everyone had to learn here in Vacuo at some point if they wanted to last there, but it came more naturally to the faunus, like Sun. Part of it was their enhanced animal senses, part of it was the fact they had learned to be on guard around humans and aware of their surroundings.
Desert, what surroundings are they dealing with?
If Brown was a faunus, that would explain how the group had detected Sun pursuing them. First, Sun wouldn't really recognize that. He was surprised that the White Fang existed or how they worked in Volume 1. So this wasn't something that would come naturally to his thought process. Second, the Vacuo people were okay with faunus. They didn't have any issue with them. That was like the whole thing about them. They're completely meritocracy. Like, if you survive out in the desert, you're fine. Like, no, her name's not Pink. This is just how Sun is coloring them because of their appearance.
Pink is a woman because pink is for girls.
And because Pink is a mohawk.
Because pink is for girls.
Hey, girls in pink are cute. Just saying. If Brown was a faunus, that would explain how... Okay, so... why were you following that woman? Sun countered. He glanced behind them and was glad to see that she'd gotten away while the attention was on him. Pink cracked her neck.
I'm trying to crack my knuckles into the speaker. Oh well. You're about to find out.
Okay, go ahead and tell me. That's why I asked. Sun waited a beat.
Oh,
that was...
Oh, that's her. Okay.
Oh, that was meant to be a threat. You should have followed it up with something menacing, like shaking your fist angrily, Sun demonstrated. Are you guys new at this? Okay, I love Sun. I'm just putting I love Sun. He's great. The group advanced towards him. Wait! Sun held out his hands, and they hesitated. I don't want to hurt you guys. They looked at one another and laughed.
Ha! It's 3 against 1.
Pink said. Really? Count again. Sun put his hands together. He closed his eyes and he focused. As always,
the ninjutsu.
He started with an image that centered him, so he could use his semblance. A desert willow, green and flourishing, with white rose and violet flowers. Is that a reference to Team RWBY? Fucker just left out Yang? Asshole!
At the very least, he could have left out Blake. Do us all a favor.
He had seen it once when he was traveling with his clan across the vast Vacuo desert looking for a new place to live for a while, when their previous settlement had become too attractive to Grimm. Too attractive to Grimm? Okay. Like, that's just a weird phrasing that got me. Sun, only 7 at the time, had been frustrated. "We should stay and fight," he had said. "Why don't we?" I think it's a girl. Star?
Star.
Yeah, I think it's a girl.
Not everyone here is as strong as us.
His older cousin Star Sanzog? Sanzog! Put a hand on his head and ruffled his spiky hair.
Or as hot-headed as you. Ow.
She yanked her hand away and shook it, pretending to blow on it. Despite himself, Sun grinned, but he wouldn't be so easily distracted. "I'm tired of running away. We should pick a place and stay there. Keep the Grimm out."
We're on our own out here. Most
said.
of our own clan doesn't know how to fight, and they aren't interested in learning. It's not how we do things.
Why?
Oh, it's not how we do things.
Why does no one know how to fight? You live in a world with Grimm. People fighting should be a regular thing unless you're filthy rich to pay for it. Maybe if they had learned, Sun swallowed, more of them would be alive. Oh, his parents are dead. My parents are dead. He hated the way his voice trembled.
All right, calm down, Sasuke. Most of our parents are dead, too.
Star pretended not to notice. I mean, everyone's going to die some point. Why are you so busy over those two? I mean, come on. What'd they do? They just gave birth to you. They don't owe them anything. Is you.
One day what you want may come to pass, but not today. Try to get some rest.
What do we say to things that we want to come to pass? Not today. I don't even watch Game of Thrones, and I know that reference. He took her advice, the way he usually did, but just as he drifted off to sleep, he spotted the tree. Its leaves had a golden glow in the evening sun. The sight had filled him with a strange peace and a sense of purpose that he hadn't felt in a long time. That's the perfect place to stop, he had thought. I would defend a place like that to my death. Why are we still going? He drifted off to sleep, and when he awoke, he asked Star about the tree. She didn't know what he was talking about. No one did. It seemed no one else had seen it either. You must have dreamed... Oh, you too.
You must have dreamed it,
she said.
It sounds like a nice dream.
I didn't, Sun insisted. It was real. But from that time on, the tree had been his alone. He remembered every detail of it so vividly, too vividly for it to come from his imagination. He remembered it being better than he did it. He remembered it better than he did his parents' faces. And whenever he pictured it, he felt that calm again, that purpose. It had led him to discover his semblance via Sun. You named your semblance after yourself? Wow, what an asshole.
By the way, this little, paragraph break, italicized flashback paragraph break reminds me of how I used to write fanfics when I was 17.
I know, he's like, oh, God, like, the entire structure is like, oh, we have all these flashbacks, we have to have them in italics, and it's like, that's a really lazy way of conveying a flashback. I mean, after reading something like Faulkner or Vonnegut, you start being like, I don't need italics. In fact, sometimes letting people get lost in the timeline can be a lot of fun.
Well, it's more just the fact that it's like thing about to happen, break, flashback, go back to thing happening. Like, that's literally how I used to write.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got that. That's an urge as a writer I completely understand.
Yeah, for reference to the chat, I'm half decent at writing narratives. My strength is in writing songs, so not too great on the long narrative.
Let's see. Oh, also, Son, you remember this tree so damned well. You'd realize, he's like, oh, it's so real that it couldn't have been fake, and it's like, but wait a minute. Things that you imagine and you insert your own details on retain themselves much stronger than actual memory sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like,
Mandela effect?
Yeah, Mandela effect. I mean, I'll give Sun some credit, some lenience because he's an idiot. So, I mean, it's fair that he'd think that, oh, it's totally real. But no, I guarantee it was some kind of premonition, man.
Sun seems like the type to go on that stuff. By the way, shout out to CJ Black in chat. Love seeing this guy.
Oh yeah, what's up, CJ? Let's see. How many people do we have at current?
I saw Floof.
70. Nice.
I saw Vexed.
How's everyone doing today?
Some good names on here.
Yeah, Toast Ghost. See him around a lot. I underestimate my lack of sleep, so I'm going to bounce. Have fun booking. All right, Toast Ghost, have a good night. I hope you sleep well.
I'm still losing my mind at, y'all, this is a Scholastic book.
I keep forgetting that Scholastic produced. No wonder it's so nicely produced. Also, something I noticed that I've picked up on now because I screwed up on my own book with it. This is not formatted in block format. It's formatted left orient.
I prefer that, honestly, just because it's easier on the eyes.
Oh, really?
But I can see why that would bother you. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm used to like reading essays, so that's just how I'm more used to it.
Also, this annoys me. Did they do it in the last paragraph? They did. Why do they start paragraphs not indented? That's annoying.
Oh, that's bothering me. Oh, now that you've pointed out, that bothers me. By the way, the fact that this is a Scholastic book reminds me that Penguin Books published a book called The Anti-Racist Baby, so I don't think we can really hold standards for publishing companies anymore.
Yeah, visions. I imagine he's some kind of vision. Sun actually seems like a fun character to like start giving premonitions to because he completely ignore them.
Yeah, I kind of like the archetype of like someone is getting extremely important premonitions and like visions, but they just choose to ignore them because they just don't really care.
Well, they don't care. They don't understand. It's just sort of like, okay, that was a weird dream. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Two glowing clones of Sun flared into existence, one facing pink and the other squaring off against green. That left Brown, whom he figured was both the leader of the group and the most dangerous. Why? Because he was hiding the most. That's racist. Brown slashed his hand towards Sun. Take him. Which one? Green asked.
The real one.
The real one, motherfuckers. The one not glowing like a light bright.
These are just flashy illusions. It's like when in the Pokemon anime they use double team.
Yeah. And also, wait, how do you know that they're just flashy illusions, you dumbass? All semblances are unique. For all you know, these things could, like, melt steel beams.
Maybe these things are magic. Yeah. Love opening that can of worms. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah. Sun directed one of his clones to punch Pink in the face. That's a good result. She blinked and looked more annoyed than hurt. That's no illusion! Green reached for Clone 2. Sun's clones were physical manifestations of his aura, every bit as capable of inflicting damage as he was. But it could be difficult to control them, especially while he was fighting. They were better suited to giving him the elements of surprise. Then why did you pop them off right in... Okay. Extra pair of hands or emergency backup when he needed it. Unfortunately, he couldn't sustain them long, and they couldn't take much damage as they drew aura from Sun himself. If he kept them going too long, or tried to create too many clones, it usually weakened the aura shield protecting him. But he'd improved a lot with training, and his semblance was a lot stronger than it used to be. Sun whipped out his gunchucks, Ryu Bang and Jingyu Bang, spinning them as he and Brown circled each other slowly. At the same time, Sun was fighting Pink and Green through his clones. Pink was some kind of boxer. Oh, that's a period. It looked like a comment to me. Pink was some kind of boxer dancing around, jabbing with her fist, which one was managing to block. Okay, he's number naming his semblance.
That's very Mista of him.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Green was trying to grab two and wrestle him to the ground. Brown had some kind of martial training similar to Sun's, but he wasn't nearly as good. Sun leaned back as Brown did a high roundhouse kick. He felt a breeze as opponent's booted foot swept past his nose with a lot of power behind it. Sun flicked his right gunchuck to loop around Brown's ankle and pull him out of his stance, hitting him with the closed gunchuck in his left hand. Oh, we have a super chat. Blade Charge. It's nice to see Papa Celtic with other peeps. Yeah, I love having more people on to read. I kind of imagine at some point I would love to get a Let's Read where it's just a bunch of us reading the same story at the same time, and we all have like a
That would
unique
be fun.
voice.
Yeah. By the way, so CJ asked, question: why is Sun from Vacuo but has a Chinese name? And that's a question because Ren has a Chinese name and he's from Mistral. And the answer to that is world building is very hard for some people, and keeping track of things is hard. And I'm not really good at memory related things.
Sun's parents were from Mistral, and that's why they died out in Vacuo. That's my headcanon.
That makes sense. I'll take that.
Yeah, immigration, man, sucks. Don't ever move to another country or be eaten by demonic hell beasts. Where was I? Sun flicked his right gunchuck up to loop it around Brown's ankle. So the man took the full blow, but didn't even phase him. Sun continued to pull Brown by his leg, using the momentum to spin him around in a circle. But the man quickly regained control and twisted in the opposite direction, yanking Sun towards him. Brown grabbed Sun's shoulders and pushed him face down to his knee. Sun saw a rainbow of colors. Clones 1 and 2 fizzled out. Oh, that hurts. Brown kicked Ryu Bang out of Sun's hand, and his partners closed in on Sun. Sun used Jingu Bang to fire a dust round at Pink, but the woman went kind of blurry all around the edges, and Sun's shot went right through her. Okay, so she has a phasing quirk. Got it.
Wait. So doesn't Emerald or Neo also have phasing? Blake has phasing. I thought all semblances were unique.
Well, this one is like she's not creating an illusion along with it, so it's like normal phasing without illusion.
Okay, so she's like phasing, like a flash step.
Yeah. That's a neat trick, Sun thought. He ran towards the wall of a building, and as they turned to face him, he flipped over their heads to land behind them. Why would they let him do that? He grabbed his falling gunchuck and merged the two weapons together into a staff. He twirled it lazily in front of him. Sun went for Brown again, but this time, no matter what he did, he couldn't quite land a blow on him. His punches and kicks were practically sliding past the guy, just a fraction of a second too late to make contact. It was as if Sun were playing a video game with a busted controller.
What?
Sorry, I coughed.
No, I know that. That's an interesting analogy.
Yeah. The same held true for Brown's attacks. Sun thought he was dodging them, but again, just a moment too late, and the hits were adding up. Pretty soon, Sun felt Sun was moving more slowly. His aura was creeping into the danger zone. Danger zone! If he pushed it too hard, it would break, leaving him vulnerable to serious injury. He couldn't take much more of this. Now Green stepped up. Sun used his staff to pole vault towards him, landing his feet against the guy's chest and springing backwards. He swept his staff towards Pink, making a solid hit that knocked her into Green. They both went down. Sun pivoted. You gotta be careful with the language, man. They both fell down. Like, saying they both went down implies that they're out of the fight, and they just kind of fell over. Sun pivoted and swung towards Brown, who took the blow without even trying to block it. But Sun felt the shock of the impact vibrate up the staff into his bones. Brown grabbed the end of Sun's staff and pushed him backwards. Sun fell but spun around on his back and scrambled to his feet. He planted the staff in the ground, suddenly aware that he needed to hold himself up. He breathed heavily. Ah, crap, Sun thought. I'm losing. How am I actually losing?
Maybe you could try giving him like a Sonic the Hedgehog voice, like, "Whoa, is that all you've got?"
I don't want to be too annoying to the folks at home. Crap! I'm losing. How am I actually losing? Is that all you got? Sun gasped. I fought stronger guys than you. They were nothing compared to the Atlesian Paladins at Beacon. Idiot! Don't think about that. Sun thought. What? Why not think about that? Okay, the White Fang on Menagerie. Sun had taken a dozen of those guys at once, though these three had more impressive semblances. We've only seen one of their semblances, right? Did I miss a semblance being used? Just Pink doing her face step. Yeah. Show. Semblances are unique. Also show. Both Harriet and Ruby use speed semblances.
Didn't they say those were two different things though?
Yeah, Ruby has like a weird
Ruby's
teleportation
like
quirk to it.
yeah, it's like visible teleportation.
Even though that still makes no sense with how we've seen it used in like Volume 4, but I mean, whatever. Bigger opponents too, Sun said. There was the Sea Long on a freaking ocean, no less.
On the ocean.
Yeah, his friend Blake Belladonna had helped
Boo.
him but he could have handled it on his own if he had to, just like now. All right, so writers, true tip: if this person is his friend, and he's basically narrating to us who this is, you don't need to add friend Blake Belladonna. You just say Blake, because that's not how people think in their own heads. Like if you're mixing this narration, this thing that annoys me is like they have to make it super clear for people. But no, people are smart. They can start picking up Blake.
Well, as my friend Raymond McNeil would always tell me.
Wait, what?
See how unnatural that sounds?
That sounds incredibly unnatural. Like, the way I usually write it is, if you need to denote that the kind of relationship they have, his friend Blake had helped. Blake had helped him a teeny bit, but he could have handled it on his own if he had to. He didn't need it. He didn't always need a friend to back him up. Right there, bam, same information conveyed, except for her last name, and it's way more natural. Just like now. I definitely haven't fought anyone uglier than you, though, so you got me there, Sun taunted. I mean, I'm just assuming because of the masks.
You talk too much,
Pink said.
Now she's Western.
You talked. I get that a lot. Enough! Brown, pink, and green closed in. I don't know who yelled that. Here we go. Sun dug his feet in and gripped his staff. No, he was going to let these chumps take him down after everything he'd been through. Not on his home turf. Though it could be their home turf too. He's starting to wish he'd brought some friends with him. Suddenly, Sun saw a flash of light, and a glowing trident landed in front of Pink, Green, and Silver. Wait, what? A glowing trident landed in front of Pink, Green, and Silver?
Who's Silver? Silver the Hedgehog?
Oh, no! I think that's that they accidentally, they had another name for Brown until recently.
Scholastic published.
They all stared at it for a moment in surprise. The electric energy burst from it and shocked them, holding them immobile. Neptune? Sun thought, recognizing his friend's weapon. You see, right there! Way smoother! But it was made out of hard light energy, which meant that it was just a copy of the Tryhard, which meant... Great. Team Coffee, parentheses, coffee, was there.
That's so funny. I don't know why.
It really is. Like I would usually just introduce Team Coffee.
Team Coffee.
I don't know how I would cover that in the story. The only way I could think of is the way I did it in my SYOC that I did, years ago, back before I even graduated college, where it was, the entrance ceremony where everyone was named. The charge faded along with the trident itself. Tendrils of electricity crackled over the thugs. They shook it off. Shake it off, shake it off. Seriously, how much can you take? Sun said.
More than you can dish out,
Pink said. Truly, the most engaging of witty battle-witticisms. I backed that forward.
This sounds like me writing an action scene circa 2008.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'd come up with in 5th grade.
Yep. That was just the appetite. Oh, is that? I think that might be. Yeah, this is Velvet.
That was just the appetizer. She's Australian, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, you actually do a better Australian accent. Yes, this is good.
That was just the appetizer.
Someone called from above. Sun recognized the voice, but he had rarely heard her sound so confident, defiant. He glanced up and saw rabbit ears silhouetted against the bright, broken moon. Velvet Scarlatina leapt down from a low roof top and landed lightly next to Sun. Just wait until dessert. Really? Really? You had to open Yatsuhashi with a pun? He was the best character.
It sounds
in the
like
last
Fire
book.
Emblem crit quotes.
Yatsuhashi Daichi rushed out of the shadows and sent Brown flying into a wall, a spray of sand settling over their baddies. Of course the big guy was there. Wherever Velvet was, Yatsuhashi was close behind.
Oh, they fucking?
They kind of implied that there's something a little more going on there that they haven't quite.
You know what?
Yet.
You know what? That's kind of woke. I can roll with it.
Yeah, no, they're actually kind of a cute, because like his whole thing. Do you remember Yatsuhashi's backstory?
No.
His semblance is that he can erase memories. And he got super jealous of his new baby sister to the point that he basically erased her existence from his mother for like 2 days. And so he was left like basically taking care of the baby himself for 2 days. And he was like absolutely guilt-stricken over it. And like... So he has a very kind of sibling feeling towards Velvet, but also kind of like a sibling, but not. You know, kind of one of those dynamics where like they could kind of go either way. So they're kind of cute together.
That does sound cute. Anyway, it looks like we have Velvet here.
Yeah.
Hey, son. She has a deep voice, right? I forget.
No, it's decently pitched. You were getting it right.
Okay.
And this is Velvet, not Coco.
Oh, sorry. I get confused. They're very minor characters.
Not according to the fandom.
Hi, son.
Velvet said. Sun smiled back. Nice entrance. Did you two rehearse that? He couldn't remember the last time he'd heard Yatsuhashi say so many words at once. Later, Yatsuhashi grunted. That was more like it. Velvet hefted her camera.
Need some backup?
Nah, I got it under control, Sun said. But since you're already here, if you want to get in on this, he gestured towards the three opponents, knock yourself out. Better yet, knock them out. I'll give that one to you, Book. That one, not the most clever, but I'll give it to you.
Do you remember Yatsuhashi's power? No, he takes away your memories.
I should have just gone exactly. Yatsuhashi drew his greatsword while Velvet summoned hard-like copies of Scarlet David's gun, Hook, and his cutlass, Daring. Oh. You guys really have dropped the ball on naming your weapons. God damn, these are terrible. She was favoring weapons from Team Season.
Well, wait till you see my
Team
weapon. Big, juicy, childbearing hips and gigantic titties.
Wait, what?
Those are going to be my weapons.
Childbearing hips and gigantic titties? That actually sounds like an amazing, you gotta imagine it's like the noisy cricket. It's just a tiny little gun. Childbearing hips. Pew, pew, pew. She was favoring weapons from Team Sun, which
Sun.
No, I'm just saying. Oh yeah, right. Sun. Parentheses. Which Sun doubted was a coincidence. Velvet nodded towards the enemy, her ears dipping.
Time for a little street cleaning.
Come on, you've been practicing quips, haven't you? Sun said. Okay, Sun, look. All right, I was literally giving you that one earlier, but I'm taking that back if you're criticizing that one. The three students rushed towards the three bad guys. Sun once again faced off against Brown, while Yatsuhashi took on Green and Velvet. Maybe switch it up a little bit. Just saying. Sun had seen Velvet in combat only a few times. She was whipping out a whole set of moves he didn't know she had in her. Some of them clearly informed by Scarlet's fighting style. However, Pink's semblance worked. It seemed she could only phase out against attacks briefly. Velvet was managing to hit her over and over again with her hard light sword. Even so, Pink barely seemed hurt. these guys like hyped up on something? Like, we watch us turn out they're like on like meth and cocaine. Meanwhile, Yatsuhashi had Green pressed below his massive blade, the squat thug holding it inches away from his face with his bare hands. Yeah, what hands? You wouldn't have hands. It's a great sword. The goon's aura should have been dropping fast, but he remained on his feet. And Brown still seemed fresh from the battle, too. Sun had pushed him up against the wall, giving him a beating, but Sun was going to wear himself out before his foe did. "Screw this," Brown said. "Smoke him!" What? Yatsuhashi started to speak, but then he began coughing. Sun saw smoke pouring out of Green's skin, which reminded him of the way Grim disintegrated into the black vapor. Then Sun smelled it. "Ugh, that's gross!" He began coughing, too. His eyes teared up. "You got lucky, monkey boy," Green said as he walked off, his companions following him through the cloud of foul vapor. "This time." "No, you got lucky," Sun choked. "No, you got lucky." Do the Zoolander choke. Luckily, more of my friends didn't show up, he thought. Then he coughed some more. With Green and his awful stench gone, along with Pink and Brown, the air soon cleared and they were able to breathe again. "So that's why they were wearing gas masks," Sun gasped. So wait, I think they were all wearing it? So the guy has to wear his own gas mask, or was he just doing it to, like, complete the aesthetic? Something else was strange about them, Yatsuhashi noted. "As if they were invincible." "Right?" Sun said. "Glad it wasn't just me." Molly. Hello, Molly? Molly. We'll just wait for it to return. I'm gonna catch up on the comments here. "Go, Captain Hook and Wendy Daring are a pair. Oh, so that's why no one remembers that Pura died. Yatsuhashi made them all forget Pura. Wait a second, where did Silver go in this fight?" Yeah, I think that was just a typo. "Press below his massive blade. Title your sex tapes." Here we go. Silver is Brown. We think Brown used to be a name for Silver. No, it's the other way around. I think Silver used to be a name for Brown. "How much dust does Velvet have?" Not enough. Yes.
Hello?
Oh, no. Oh, there you are.
Sorry, my internet falls apart kind of easy.
Okay. Yeah,
that should be fixed for now.
Yeah, okay, so where were we?
Right. But it was just you.
Velvet said softly.
"Where's your team?"
"Oh, back at Shade, sleeping or studying, probably. Doing something responsible."
"Do they know where you are?"
Velvet asked. Sun stalked off, heading back towards Shade. "What is this, a therapy session? A lecture? Where's the rest of Team Coffee?" Velvet and Yatsuhashi followed him.
"Coco and Fox are doing the same thing we were doing when we found you, patrolling the city,"
Velvet said. Sun bristled at the implication that Velvet and Yatsuhashi had rescued him. Showing up those hot shots out in the desert had been one of the best moments of his life. Coffee's oh yeah, you mean where you literally hopped in out of nowhere and, like, saved them from basically nothing? Like, I don't remember it being that big of a deal, Sun. Coffee's reputation had apparently preceded them at Shade Academy, where they had relocated after their original school, Beacon Academy, had fallen to Grim over a year ago. In the first 2 years at Beacon, they had stood out as the best of the best, but they had a lot more competition in Vacuo, which hardened students into the tough huntsmen and huntresses, until it broke them. Arriving at Shade with Team Coffee, having helped them complete their rescue mission. Okay, had immediately elevated Sun's Team Sun, to lofty heights. And now, here was Team Coffee, half of it anyway, bailing him out. At least Velvet wasn't the kind of person to rub it in. If Scarlet, Sage, and Neptune had heard about this, they'd never let him live it down. and his teammates already had plenty to hold over his head. He wondered when they were going to get over it. But what if Sun had gone off to do his own thing? He wondered when they were going to get over it. So what if Sun had gone off to do his own thing for a while? That was the kind of guy he was. He had to go where he was needed. The gang had been back together for weeks now, but it still hadn't blown over. Scarlet was acting bossier than usual, and Sage had been giving Sun the silent treatment. Oh, good. I hope I don't have to actually voice Sage.
What did Sage sound like again?
No one knows. He literally had 2 grunts.
Can I pretend he sounds like an aggressive New Yorker?
Just make sure it's not racially profiled.
What does Sage look like?
He's black with green hair.
So can I do like, hey, bada bing, hey, son, what's good, what's poppin', my man?
Yeah, he's vaguely middle New Yorker, Hispanic. Let's go with that. No,
Italian.
Italian.
That's Italian. That's the stereotypical Italian.
To be fair, those two actually do have a little bit of bleed over.
Yeah.
At least Neptune always had his back, but something seemed to be off with him too. No matter how much he insisted everything was fine. I just see bed Sun sitting up in bed like, Neptune, come back to bed. What's wrong? Yeah. Nothing's wrong. Everything's fine. Why don't you look at me, Neptune,
make you some chicken soup.
Making some chicken soup. Want to tell me what you guys were doing out patrolling so late? Sun said. Yatsuhashi looked around. Not really. Velvet was a little more forthcoming.
We're looking for the crown.
The crown? Sun asked. Is that what you're calling them now? It was a lot better than Carmine and Bertolick's mysterious employer, anyway. Oh, there's a plane overhead. Lovely.
Yeah. We've been hearing that name more and more.
Velvet said.
We think that whoever they are, they're the ones gathering people with powerful semblances. We've been digging for more information about them and keeping an eye out for Carmine and Bertolac? Bertolac.
Yeah, I don't like him. Well, to be fair, I like him better than Carmine. I hate his name, but he's better than fucking Carmine, who is just a cardboard cutout of a character. The Rogue Huntsman team of Carmine Escalados and Bertolic Celadon had escaped from the authorities shortly before... Bullshit! Oh! Garbage! You don't just do that! You don't do that! You gotta be shitting me! They go through an entire novel trying to catch those fuckers, and you let them escape in between stories!
For a moment. By the way, someone says, where's the Robin Hill novel we're all waiting for? Don't give them ideas.
Oh no, that's more than likely coming. That's gonna be like after the night.
Who genuinely liked Robin?
I like the concept behind Robin, and I actually have some ideas for that. Fun, but
Hillary Rodham Hillary.
Oh yeah, no. She's gonna have an email scandal. It's gonna be fun.
Ooh.
The
dead speak.
The dead speak.
Same energy.
Shortly after had escaped from the authorities shortly after Coffee and had delivered them to Coquina, one of the few settlements in Vacuo with a prison and a court. God, you're gonna have to. They're really gonna have to detail exactly how Vacuo works. Is it all that? Like, is it all friggin' migrants? Not migrants. What's the term?
Like
nomads.
Nomads, like Vargans, I guess. I don't know.
Is it all nomads? Are there some? I guess there are some permanent settlements, but like, how do you have that if you're constantly under agreement? I don't know. Fucking Vacuo makes no sense sometimes.
I guess like it would make some theoretical sense because you're if you're constantly under attack by things, moving around isn't a terrible idea.
Yeah. Just I don't know. I feel like they really kind of harp on the whole desert nomad thing a lot, and Now you're suddenly speaking about permanent settlements that don't have to move, aside from Vacuo. Like, Vacuo kind of stood out as the one city that didn't need to move.
Well, I guess you could have like villages, like maybe somebody moved in, way back when somebody moved in and created a more permanent settlement.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm just throwing, based on my like real world knowledge of like Mongolia and stuff. That's very limited. I'm just throwing that out there.
Velvet was worried the duo would return to kidnap her friend Gus Caspian, whose semblance had made it possible for him to bring down entire settlements single-handedly. By accident,
Bruh.
Because he couldn't control that.
Bruh.
Gus could amplify negative emotions that negatively summoned creatures of Grim.
Bruh.
Shouldn't that be positively summoned? Like
imagine being this dude.
Yeah, it's like Gus could amplify negative emotions, and that positively summoned creatures of Grim. That makes more sense, and it's more ironic. The dark manifestations of evil that roam the world with the sole purpose of destroying humans and faunas. And apparently, occasionally, wildlife, except not. God, this world building is garbage.
Bruh, imagine like in the real world if somebody had the ability to make infectious diseases more infectious. Like you would just kill that person.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what purpose that semblance would have to keep around. I would just kill the guy. I think they actually debated killing him. Some people did.
Somebody points out, you misread it. It's Gus could amplify negative emotions, and that negativity summon creatures of Grim.
Gotcha. Thank you. See, this is what happens. This is actually why I'm having the digital version is way better, so I can have it on screen, so people can call me out on misreading crap. Let's see. F for Clover. No F for Clover. He didn't.
By the way, Dar is right. Do not come for other RWBY tubers in the chat. Not as funny as it sounds. So, unless they really deserve it.
Yeah, no, don't calling out other people. I try not to do that. If I ever call someone out, it's going to be to their face in some kind of stream or conversation, and I really don't like taking pot shots at people. It's petty and it really doesn't get anything accomplished. Okay, so where are we? Okay, here we are. Velvet.
All right, where are we?
After...
you have a powerful semblance too. Velvet, you shouldn't be out here alone, son.
What? They went down after like 3 seconds. Sun rubbed the back of his neck. I'm used to it, he said. Besides, the guys are still a little annoyed with me for ditching them. To chase a girl, Yatsuhashi added. It wasn't like that. Not entirely. Blake needed a friend.
Black Sun woke! Black Sun woke!
You're Velvet.
Oh, sorry. And your team needed you.
Velvet said
after everything we saw at Beacon, and with everything going on in Mistral.
They were fine. But you're their leader, Yatsuhashi said. They'll come around.
This man.
Maybe you would like to regain their trust if you didn't keep... maybe you would be able to regain their trust if you didn't keep running off without them, Yatsuhashi added, sheathing his great sword. Sun narrowed his eyes. I liked you better when you didn't say much. Like Sage. It's almost as if they're both the same character. He sighed. You think they don't trust me? Velvet looked at the ground.
What were you doing out here anyway?
I saw those three following a woman. I thought she might need help. Yatsuhashi smirked.
Oh, I hate that word.
What, smirked?
Smirked. It's like, I don't know.
I've been guilty of overusing that, I know. It's a word that's very easy to use because, like, people smirking is just like a general reaction to shit. Really, Sun said. Since I've been back, I've been trying to reconnect with some of my old friends, but a lot of them are gone. It's Vacuo, Yatsuhashi said. Fox says people leave every day. Sun shook his head. They didn't leave. They just vanished. Love it.
They just vanished. Yeah, I know. I lost. Did they have strong semblances?
Velvet asked.
Oh, that was more British. I fucked up.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're the same. They're the same. It's just that Australians are Southern British.
Southern British.
I don't think so. They didn't when I knew them, Sun said. You know me, I'm not usually one to worry, but it bothers me that so many people are missing and the police aren't even looking for them.
Police aren't even looking for them. It sounds like the police haven't been all that reliable. Well, you're in an action novel, so...
Velvet said.
Are they ever gonna be?
She continues.
Oh. They probably couldn't hold things together without Headmaster Theodore and Huntsman helping keep the peace.
Anyway, aren't you supposed to survive on your own out here? On your own here? Yatsuhashi asked. Sun was always explaining how things worked in Vacuo. A lot of people assumed that, or blatantly told that by Fox, who lived here. Yes, being able to survive on your own isn't just a skill here, it's a necessity. But that doesn't mean you turn away from to help others if you can, or let your own people fend for themselves. Vacuans still watch out for their tribe. At least they're supposed to. That's why he stepped in to help that woman. Speaking of survival skills, do you know where we're going? Yatsuhashi asked. You don't? Sun asked. Velvet and Yatsuhashi glanced at each other. Then they shook their heads. Sun laughed. Thanks, that made me feel better.
It's dark,
Velvet said, the girl that has night vision.
Hey, question. Grammar question. The way that there's an ellipses and then a comma, is that proper?
Maybe? If it's consistent throughout the entire book, then it's just a stylistic choice. If it's not, then it might be a typo.
I just don't know for certain, like, grammatically. By the way, I like how there's a lot of Clover discourse in the chat. First of all, can we get a round of Fs for Clover?
No, don't. He wasn't a character.
Okay, can we get a round of S's to spit, then?
But yeah, I suppose I usually just end things with an ellipsis. Is there a space between dark and the ellipsis? Oh my god, there's a space between dark and ellipses. Why would you do that?
Oh, that's so weird.
That's annoying. That oh god, the more I look at this, the more annoying it gets. There's a space between it and the comma as well.
I think that's a formatting thing, because sometimes Word just does that with ellipses, like it'll intentionally space them out. I'm actually going to open a Word document and type that out.
Yeah, go for that. I'll keep reading. You can see just as well. You can see just as well as I can, Sun said. Though it wasn't true for all Faunus, Velvet and Sun's Faunus eyes gave him excellent night vision, and it's the full moon. Okay, so that's their retcon of that scene. Is like, well, I guess most have good night vision. Whatever. The city seems like it's all alleys. None of the streets make sense. Yatsuhashi said. Welcome to Japan. That's because it is all alleys. It wasn't like the city was planned out like Vale or engineered like Atlas. When he first came here, Sun had learned that the city just kind of happened. People settled where they stopped moving, and the city sprouted up gradually around Shade Academy, wherever houses and buildings fit, typically clustered around small oases. Is that really the plural? Oases?
I think it's oases.
I didn't realize that was the plural there. And patches of greenery that were too stubborn to give in to the desert. The city of Vacuo had some order to it, with different districts for residences and businesses, and wide street down the center for the market. But the outer edges of it were periodically wiped out because of sandstorms or sinkholes or earthquakes. Occasionally, a big enough grim burrowed under the wall, churned up the sand, and knocked everything down. Or ravagers would attack from above. A rare, heavy rainstorm might last for days, a mixed blessing that both brought water and wash shelters away. None of this was bad luck, it was just life, and death, in Vacuo. Luckily, it wasn't too hard to get oriented right now. To find shade, you literally just have to look up, and there it is, Sun said. Then why are Velvet and Yatsu complaining? It's a big-ass pyramid in the middle of the city, man. Buildings in the city were usually no more than a few stories tall, which gave you a clear view of the terraced fortress in the middle, the site of Shade Academy and the cross-continental transmit tower.
Uh, but I just want to say, as somebody who studies like transportation engineering and urban planning, this actually does sound like not too unrealistic of a city to spring up in a desert climate. The thing that comes to mind is Ouagadougou, which is the capital of Burkina Faso, which is inland, but it's next to an oasis. And it is kind of like that, where it's just kind of, we're clearly wherever they could fit things. The buildings are not that tall, but it is a city. It's just not totally planned. By the way, I love how it's the cross-continental transmit CCT, like I'm reading some sort of engineering paper where I have to explain all the acronyms.
I think I've been pronouncing it wrong. I've been calling the CCT the transit system for years now, and just because that sounds cleaner to me. Ugh, my brain. Why my brain does to me. It loomed high over the desert, tall enough to be viewed for miles around. During the day, wide awnings were extended from its walls on all sides, providing broad coverage and relief from the harsh sun. That's kind of cool. Okay. Seeing it is one thing, Yatsuhashi said. Getting there is another. You'll be glad for it if the city's ever invaded, Sun said. Who would invade the city of Vacuo? Yatsuhashi.
Oh, I don't know. Who would invade the city of Vacuo? I wonder if that's going to be the plot.
Sun snapped. Who would invade Beacon or Haven? A dark look crossed Velvet's face. Besides, people have attempted it before, Sun said. Back when Vacuo had something valuable like dust, Yatsuhashi said. Sun whistled low. Spoken like a true outsider. If you don't want to turn Vacuans against you, you'll stop making comments like that. What? But wait. Again, I have to go back to this whole, meritocracy thing. Shouldn't it not matter? It should matter just who survives. Surviving should be, the low benchmark of being, respectable in Vacuo.
Yeah, somebody kind of made a comment that makes me think, who would invade...
Oh, you cut out, Molly. What'd you say?
Philadelphia opening. Vacuo gets invaded.
Oh, yeah, she said hello. Hi, Lumi. She's one of the artists for the Sketchy Huntsman.
Hi, Lumi.
I don't know if you're a he or a she, Lumi. I don't know if it was mentioned or not.
Another urban planning fun fact. If any of you have ever been to Washington, D.C. and have wondered why the roads are so freaking confusing, it's because it makes it more difficult to invade. Back in the time before planes existed. Fun fact.
I mean, even then, even when you're on the ground, it'd be confusing. Okay, here we go. Yatsuhashi looked away. Anyway, whoever's behind the attacks on the academies will get around to us eventually, if Blake and her friends can't stop them first. And her friends. So you're saying you're not friends with Team RWBY then?
Yes.
Okay.
Sun's money was on Team RWBY. RWBY.
Yeah. Sun's money was on Team RWBY, or it would be if he had any money. The last time he'd seen them a few months ago, they were taking the Argus Limited to Atlas. They were probably there now, living a life of luxury.
Gosh, you know who was there in that scene? Ilya. I miss Ilya. She was a character.
Yeah.
She had motivations and a backstory and a personality, and these
lesbian.
sound like the most basic... Gosh, I wish they didn't make that character the first open character. The one who was an incel who just joined a terrorist group because her crush wouldn't get with her because her crush was 12. It's...
God, I hate that trailer. That trailer.
Everything is worse. I also hate her theme. It's probably my least favorite of the character themes. It's bad.
I kind of like that they made their first openly lesbian character a freaking incel.
I can confirm it's accurate.
Yeah, it really is. Especially a I don't know, of her political leanings, let's say. No, but I find it just funny. Hey, you might not find someone you like. The person you like probably won't like you back, and hey, we're just gonna drop your character before you have any kind of romantic attachment otherwise. Good job, Rooster Teeth. Very progressive. I mean, actually, genuinely progressive.
It's the chat. Is the chat going to roast me for not liking Smile?
Yeah.
Why is it in a major key?
Molly, what's your opinion?
What are those drums?
Molly, what's your opinion of the last 4 volume soundtracks?
Okay. Volume 4 had 2.5 good songs. It had This Life Is Mine, which slapped, and it had Like Morning Follows Night, which when you take away the weird harmonies in the chorus and the rap was really good.
This Life Was Mine,
and then volume Like Morning Follows Night now. What else was in the RWBY Volume 4 OST? I forgot. It's been so long.
Was one of those songs the opening song?
No.
Okay.
Let's Just Live is the most like vanilla thing ever.
I know.
I looked it up. I looked up RWBY Volume 4 soundtrack, and there's reaction, and it's just like one guy looks like he's either very tired or crying, and me too, buddy. Bad Luck Charm is a nightmare. Home is okay. Lucis Notori is actual, like, probably one of the worst things I've ever heard. Armed and Ready is okay. Like, the first half, it's good. Bumblebee is the worst love song I've ever heard. It's like, if I needed the best description possible of a 50-year-old man writing a song that's meant to be about teenage girls, I would choose Bumblebee.
Aw, CJ, that's sweet. Thank you. And you guys glow in that freaking Rooster Teeth there. That's nice.
Yeah. Volume 5 had Bastard Isolation, which slapped because Weiss song slapped. Volume 6, I think the opening was good. I don't remember any of the others. Volume 7, I have no hopes for.
No, that's the thing. Is like, I have not remembered a single song from RWBY since Volume 2.
I think Bad Luck Charm wouldn't be so bad if it didn't literally start with somebody screaming, "Pain!"
Oh, God.
I'm so glad I willed that voice crack.
Oh, yeah. So let's see. Where were we? We got completely sidetracked talking about that.
Sorry, you know me with music.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, part of this is a commentary stream. So, like, when things came up, we talk about it. So let's see. They can take care of themselves now that they're back together, Sun reassured them. Oh, wait, I think we're actually here. They're probably now living a life of luxury, and then it's Velvet saying, I hope they're
okay,
Velvet
wherever
saying,
they are.
They can take care of themselves now that they're back together, Sun reassured them. But Velvet and Yatsuhashi had a point about Team Sn. It's like Snom, but not good.
Oh, don't bring Snom into this.
Yeah.
Snom deserves to be put far away from this.
Snom deserves a delicious curry snack. Sun had to make sure his own team was okay now that they were back together too. Since he'd been back.
Hold on, someone mentioned All Things Like Must Die in the chat, and I have to say, All Things Must Die must be the third worst thing I've ever heard. The first worst thing I've ever heard is Lucis Notori. The second worst thing I've ever heard is oh shoot. Oh, there's probably something out there. But it has to be at least the third. I can't believe there's a song in Volume 7 called Touch the Sky, because all I can think about is imagine how is Touch the Sky. I'll never have that out of my head.
And hauled them halfway across Remnant to Vacuo. He felt like he didn't quite fit in anymore. It seemed like his team had just been fine without him, and now he was messing everything up. Okay, it was true he'd been keeping them at a distance. No wonder he felt out of step with them. But was it more than that? He sometimes wondered. Maybe what Team Sn needed was something to bring them back together. We'll help you, Sun said impulsively. We? Yatsuhashi asked.
Help us with what?
Velvet asked. We, Team Sn, will help you hunt down the crown. More people looking means you'll cover more ground. And besides, you need us. That would be my phone.
Oh my gosh, is that the Ace Attorney pursuit theme?
Yes. Shit.
Nice.
I lost my place. Or did I? No, I didn't.
We could have some background music. Just play the Super Mario Land OST on loop. It's like a 17-minute soundtrack. Alright guys, my stream now. AMA. AMA, everybody. I'm doing pretty good.
Unmute that. Who else was trying to call me?
Hold on. Doran of Green says, "Fight me. I May Fall is the best song in RWBY." I wrote a paper about this once, like a short paper for an assignment in a music class. The way that I May Fall, the chord progression in the chorus, there's something about the chord progression in the chorus that it's rising in a major scale when it doesn't match with the actual like intentions of the song, like the kind of like sort of hopeless but like the hopeless optimism of it. And how it should be going on a different chord progression to better reflect the emotion that the song is trying to give. I don't remember it offhand. This was back in freshman year, but Sacrifice was good.
I'm back.
I like Sacrifice because it's interesting. I like the modified scale.
You see,
I have not listened to the Volume 7 stuff yet. My favorite RWBY song is "This Life Is Mine." I really like how dynamic it is. I really like the story it tells. I like how powerfully it's sung. Part of a narrative song is really the singing itself and the kind of acting behind the singing. I think the singing style is really good for that type of song. It's very powerful. It's very defiant. And I think it all really works well together. I like the switch at the end into that, kind of just full hard rock. That's amazing. And you can just imagine Weiss like picking up the microphone and, just rocking out. It's great.
This is now the RWBY music stream.
This is not a RWBY music stream.
No, I have some weird takes because like one of the songs I actually like, but I know a lot of people hate. I actually like Caffeine.
That was the second worst thing I've ever heard was Caffeine.
Yeah, it was Caffeine. I mean, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's one of those like, I can get pumped to it, but I think like the lyrics are so goddamn stupid.
I think if you're listening to it for that reason, it's good. Like it's just dumb and funny, which has its place in music. Dumb and funny absolutely has its place. Why do you think AC/DC exists?
Hey man, Hell's Bells is fucking awesome.
Dude, I love AC/DC. I work out to it.
Let's see.
That was the music I listened to when I was trying really hard not to feel emotional while playing Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yeah, I would actually.
I think
I listened to RWBY while working as a janitor. I would listen to the first two soundtracks, and that's why I
didn't know you were a janitor.
What?
I didn't know you were a janitor.
Yeah. I worked as a janitor once at a building and once at the airport. And it was mostly at the building where I was working with my best friend, who was also a janitor. He was like the assistant there. We'll probably end after the prologue, guys. Just putting that up there because I have to go in 40 minutes to eat, and I should probably get ready for that. So we'll end at the prologue, and then we'll pick up later tonight with chapter 1. But
leave me on the stream. I'll talk with these people.
No, I actually have a few things I want to get done on my computer that probably
that's fine.
Probably nice. But no.
Everybody, Molly Rhymemaster 7010. That's my Discord tag.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to give your Twitter tag?
Oh yeah, I do have I guess I could open up my old alt Twitter. I don't know how you could put it on screen or something.
Is that Out of Sync?
Yeah, that is out of sync at CINQUE.
Out or out of?
Out of. Although last time I complained about RWBY, people got mad at me, so I don't use it very often. But if people are going to interact with me on there, yeah.
Okay, well let's we're literally at the very end of the chapter. Let's. All
right, sorry about that.
Yeah. But Velvet and Yatsuhashi had a point about Team Sun. Oh no, we already went through that. Wow. Okay. We Team Sun will help you hunt down the crown. More people are looking means you'll cover more ground, and besides, you need us. How's that? Yatsuhashi asked skeptically. You don't know the city the way I do. You've had a hard time getting information because people don't trust you.
They don't trust outsiders, especially huntsman trainees from schools who are only in Vacuo because they have nowhere else to go. Ouch, Yatsuhashi said. Velvet elbowed him.
We'd be glad for the help.
We would be, Yatsuhashi began, but you'll have to convince Coco first, and your teammates. I'm their leader, aren't I? Sun asked. Velvet and Yatsuhashi looked away. That was a rhetorical question. I am their leader. Yatsuhashi's right eyebrow went up. Sun stood taller and thrust out his chest, striding confidently in the direction of Shade Academy. I totally am. You know,
and that's the end of the prologue.
Yeah, that was it. One thing I'll note about the actual book that I like more than the PDF, and this is why I think you should get the book, is that every chapter has a silhouette in the background. They did this in the last book, and I thought it was a nice touch, showing what character you're in the perspective of. So, like, this chapter was Sun, and in chapter 1, if I can get the chapter 1 somewhere in here.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, they did this with the last book, and I thought it was a nice touch. And the next chapter is going to be Coco. So, I mean, like, God, it is so sad when these background characters are more interesting than some of the main characters we have these days, because they actually have the time to get fleshed out with their description and dialogue. So, okay, what are we thinking so far, having read the prologue to the book?
I mean, for me, it's just like the standard, I don't know, just the standard action book.
Yeah, I'll say I've read better fanfiction openings. Fanfictions that have gone radically downhill, mind you, but like I've read better fanfiction.
All the best fanfiction I've read was for Fire Emblem Echoes, and I have no idea why.
Wasn't that the shit game?
No! Echoes was good. No, I'm an Echo stan first and a human second, Raymond.
Fates was the bad one.
Fates was the bad one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm not a Fire Emblem stan. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I know.
But yeah, I know, like, I mean, hell, Linked in Life and Love just updated, and that one has some... That one's weird, but it's also, like, entertainingly good. Good and weird. That's the one where, like, the... I can talk about this a little bit. I'll close the stream at the top of the hour. But that's the fan... Wow, my face just got freaking blown out because of the sun. That's the fanfic where it's Team RWBY in a polyamorous relationship.
Bruh.
Yeah. Don't worry, RWBY and Yang, it's platonic. It's
no, but bruh.
Yeah. But you know, it ended up fixing like a lot of volume 2 because it had like this weird thing where Faunus have a mating system where like
bruh.
where you share, like you connect each other through your aura. And when you do that, if you get a certain combination of people, you can like feel each other's emotions so you can kind of better understand your mate, which is a cool idea. And then on top of that,
it's a polyamorous shipfic. It's not.
It gets crazy because then they're like a super special type of mating bond where they share each other's semblances called an affinity. And so you have all of them trying to figure out. Oh, it gets wilder. It gets wild. They don't just slow down and impair the breach. They stop it. They flat out stop it, because then it's revealed that Roman Torchwick is actually Ruby's uncle. That he was the brother.
You know what? I can get behind that.
He was the brother to Summer Rose. And, oh no! The crazy shit hasn't dropped yet. All right, it's revealed that Ruby's father isn't Tai Yang. Her father is Raven. Because dust bullshit.
What? My favorite fanfiction. You know what? I'm actually just going to do this because I've always wanted to do this on a stream, and we still have 5 minutes left. Is Animal Crossing fanfic?
Oh God.
And I read the descriptions out loud. I read the descriptions out loud. All right, Animal Crossing series.
Well,
All right.
when you're pulling that up, I wanted to clarify on this. Yeah, so that happens. The story is actually well written, all things considered. It can get a little basic at times, but it's fairly well written. It's fairly smooth to read, and it has some really interesting character dynamics explored. Like, for example, Neo, Ilya, Ciel, and Penny all get put on a team together, and that's what they're currently exploring right now.
Okay, that sounds lit. Okay, but hold on. Flightless Birds by Malleus, Maury/Orville/Rodri Wilbur. Tired of his busy city life devoid of any real connections with the people around him, and a feeling a frayed relationship with his family, Orville jumps at the opportunity to start a new life on Tom Nook's getaway island. There he meets his co-worker Wilbur, and the two develop a strong working friendship that just might develop into something more. Along the way, we'll follow Orville as he settles into his new normal, makes friends and deals with the trials, tribulations, ups and downs of island life. Expect appearances by a lot of other villagers, as well as other familiar faces along the way. Tags, co-workers, slow romance, slow burn, friends to lovers, Isabel is a mom, anxiety, anal sex, oral sex, commitment issues, implied/reference homophobia, sharing food. Chapter 4 is explicit, complicated relationships, past relationships, not incest, alternate universe, canon divergence.
I was waiting, like, I was like, complications during pregnancy or something like that.
Once me and my girlfriend spent like 2 hours just reading things like that.
Yes, a detailed outline still counts as still can count as a fanfic. There was one. Oh crap! It was a RWBY fic. It was a RWBY fic that I read. That was a. They finished it as an outline, and I remember it was one of the most depressing fanfics I read. Purely because it was written really dour. But the plot of it was that, like, the outline itself was like 10,000 words per chapter of the outline. It was intense because of how much detail this guy put into it, and it was all about John and RWBY being in an unhappy marriage, and John contemplating cheating on RWBY with Pyrrha, and like John being suspicious that RWBY was going off hunting with Cardin, who he suspected was cheating, that RWBY was cheating on him with. So it was like, there were several levels of not okay I was there. But just because of like how detailed and how dark it got, I was interested in. Like, part of it was that John was basically a fucking cuck because he was like completely useless as a hunter.
You're implying John isn't always a fucking cuck.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, the thing is, I have to always keep in mind that it's not always like I'm writing it and fixing RWBY where he's like actually making his way to becoming an actual human being. And no, cucks are not human beings.
This is facts.
But no, LinkedIn Life and Love, I highly recommend looking it up. It's not like it's not going to change your world, but I found it immensely entertaining, and it's still ongoing. And like the idea that like Roman he's become like a good guy because like, he suddenly realized, oh shit, I've accidentally almost murdered my nieces. It's great.
I'm looking through RWBY fanfics right now, and I have to say I'm always amazed by the number of RWBY fanfics that are Blake X Yang, soulmates. It really tells you a lot about how these people just view them. No, they don't need to work through anything. They're soulmates.
I like a good soulmates AU, but you have to get like, really creative with it. I really hate I like the idea of like the soulmates thing is a much more nebulous situation. Like, the way I've always treated soulmates is like, you don't know your soulmates until after you're together. Like, it's sort of like you guys have gotten together, you've gone through trials and tribulations, and then through some kind of ritual, or I did this with a Little Witch fanfic. After
that's always a great way to start a sentence.
What? I did this with a Little Witch fanfic?
Yeah.
Little Witch
Knowing you a little way.
Freaking great, man. It's such a wholesome.
I know, it seems really good. I was like teasing you about it.
but like the main pairing, like the way they don't technically get married, they go through, well, they get married at the same time as they do a soul binding thing, and the soul binding thing tells them whether or not they're soulmates, and yeah, they're confirmed soulmates, and it's all happy. And then one of them dies during childbirth because that was just, you know, the type of fic I was writing. Don't worry, one of them comes back to they come back to life. It's a resurrection fic. The entire thing is focusing on that. So, you know,
Hey, dude in chat that says that he wants to write a Sage X Yang story, do it. Just do it. Come up, make a fake character for Sage. Nothing is stopping you. You don't have any canon stopping you. Just do it. Do the rare pair. The rare pair fanfictions I read are always the best ones. Go for it. Let nothing hold you back.
Speaking of which,
Godspeed.
God damn it, Little Witch Academia fanfiction community. Write more Lot X Amanda. It's a good ship. It's a solid, wholesome ship.
You just see, like, my ship charts for things are always the most bonkers, like, it... Because I'm, like, not a shipper, as you know. I just kind of, these two characters, it would be cute, I guess, and then I'm not, like, super invested in anything because it's popular. It always has to be, like, presented to me somehow.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get back to more of this later. We're going to end the stream here. Let me actually change the name briefly so it gets saved properly. As the Prologue. That's not how you spell Prologue. There, that's how you spell Prologue. I think. I hope. But thank you all so much for joining us. We had a blast. I hope you'll come back in about 2 or 3 hours. Probably more like 3 hours, around 9 p.m. Yeah. That's when I'll stream again, hopefully with Molly again, assisting me in the reading. And we'll probably, at this rate, it looks like we're going to be a slow go for this one. But hopefully then we'll get to, oh God, there's 21 chapters and an episode. Hopefully we'll get through chapter 1, maybe 2. It's a 300-page novel almost. So we'll see how fast we can get through this. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you all